morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about feminine hygiene among the Amish. So I know I already talked about hygiene among the Amish in last week's video, but after reading the comment section I realized that there is still quite a bit of topics that I have not covered. So that's what we're going to do this week. It's going to be like a continuation of last week's video. Some of the topics that we're going to discuss today is going to be feminine hygiene, specifically periods, and how we take care of our hair and how we wear our hair when we go to bed. So first things first, we're going to discuss periods. Now I know I already discussed in a recent video what it's like having a period and what they teach you about a period in the Amish culture, or the Amish culture that I grew up in, but I realized I never actually covered the female hygiene products that we use and what we are allowed to use. So today I'm going to discuss whether or not we use modern feminine hygiene products such as tampons and pads and stuff like that, or what else we use. So you guys ready for this? Honestly I don't think you are, because it gets kind of graphic and I'm sure many of you are gonna find it pretty weird and a little crazy, but here goes. Maybe it was simply because there was so many girls in our family, which made the modern feminine hygiene products expensive to buy for everybody. But some of us used the modern feminine hygiene products and some of us did not. But usually it was the older girls that used the feminine hygiene period pads, while the younger girls did use something else. And I don't think you're ready to hear what the younger girls use, because I think if any young girl had to use this out here, it would be, I don't even know what it would be, because I can't imagine anybody having to use that, which, I mean, it worked, but it definitely didn't work as well as the period pads, and you, more often than not, you ended up with a mess. But anyway, when we were younger, we would use rags. And now once we turned around 16 years old, we would usually start using the feminine hygiene products. And I don't know if that's simply because we could start dating at around 16 and a half, or why my mom would let us use that instead of the rags. But trust me, I'm not complaining, because those pads were a lifesaver. They were so much better than the rags. I remember being so glad to be old enough to use them and not the rags. But one good thing about the rags, well, they were like regular cloth rags. We surprisingly didn't have to wash them and reuse them again. Which, if you know the Amish, they're all about, like, their diapers, they wash them and reuse them. But for the rags that we use for our periods, thank God we were allowed to burn those after we were done. Each rag we only used for like one day, and then we could throw it away and burn it. So that's not nearly as bad as if you had to. Like, can you imagine having to rewash that? Ooh. And trust me, they were not comfortable at all, but they did the job. But that's the thing though, when you were Amish, you didn't know there was such a thing as, I don't know how to say it, comfort? Because you wouldn't wear clothes because they were comfortable. You wouldn't wear stuff because they were comfortable. Anything that you wore wasn't, like, any clothes that you made, they weren't to make people comfortable. They were made because that's how they've always been done. That's how they've always been made. It was not a thing about comfort. So yes, the rags were not comfortable, but at all. But we didn't know the difference. We didn't know there's such a thing as being comfortable with the clothes that you wear. And trust me, now I love me some comfortable clothes. I will wear sweats and a hoodie anytime. But that's the thing though. You get used to this, and now if you're wearing something that isn't comfortable, like, let's say your shoes aren't comfortable, it's like, oh, I need different shoes. I need something that, like, these aren't comfortable, these don't work. Or like, if you get feminine hygiene products that are not comfortable, you're like, okay, I can't do this. Like, I need something that is comfortable. Like, this is not gonna work. I need to get something that's comfortable. But that's just it. It's part of the luxury of leaving and not follow a strict dress code because of religion. And it's a luxury that I really enjoy. And as far as tampons, we don't use them at all. But I don't know if that's because we can't have them or that we don't know that what they are. I seriously don't think the Amish know that tampons exist. I know I didn't know what they were until after I left. And I was so confused. But I am sure even if my family knew what they were or knew that they existed, I can almost guarantee it that they still wouldn't let the girls use them. Okay, so only one more hygiene product left to discuss before we move on to hair. And I'll make it quick. And that topic is toilet paper. Now, I'm not speaking for all Amish families. I'm sharing my experience in it. But for my family, toilet paper was considered fancy. Right? Isn't that like that's like an essential necessity for any household here. But when I was a kid, even if we had toilet paper, we would like save it for Sundays in case we had visitors, in case we had guests, and then we would put toilet paper out. But otherwise, we would use newspapers. like we would crinkle it up to make it softer. Now, as I got older, we converted more and more to toilet paper, but still sometimes we would have newspapers. It just depended. Like if we ran out of toilet paper, we would use newspapers, and we would use newspaper until we made a trip to the grocery store or the Amish bulk food store because we didn't often go to the actual grocery store. But we wouldn't make a trip simply for toilet paper. For example, just the other day, I made a last minute trip to Costco to get toilet paper because we were down to 2 rolls. And we were like, okay, we gotta go get toilet paper because we're almost running out. Like we had 2 rolls left and we were already panicking about being out of toilet paper. The saints that are priorities now. But you know, I'm grateful that I'm able to afford toilet paper because there was a time that I was crinkling newspapers just to get it soft enough so it didn't hurt as much. And then if you were out in the fields, out in the woods, and you had to go to the bathroom, guess what you'd do? You would go to the bathroom right there behind the tree. And guess what you used then? There was plenty of leaves, and that's what you would use. Hey, it worked, okay? But anyway, let's move on to our hair and how we take care of it. So, same as our teeth and our bodies, we wash our hair once a week, same thing, Saturday nights, and we only use shampoo. We never used any conditioner. We didn't even know what conditioner was or that it even existed, or at least I didn't. I didn't know anything about it until after I left. I use it now, and to be honest, I don't even know what I would do without it. But yeah, we didn't know what it was. It didn't exist. We just used Prel shampoo. And I've seen Prel at Walmart, and I know it comes with a shampoo and conditioner. Why we never got the conditioner, I don't know. But I never even knew that conditioner existed. We always just got the shampoo. Like I only ever remember of using 3 different shampoos, and it was Prel, Pert, and Head and Shoulders dandruff shampoo, which the Head and Shoulders dandruff shampoo was usually only used by my brothers and my dad. And as girls, we used most of the Prel, sometimes the Pert, but usually my brothers were the ones that used the Pert. We did put apple cider vinegar in the water to rinse our hair, so maybe that was considered a conditioner or used in place of the conditioner. And I don't know, but maybe that's why my hair grew so long, because my hair used to be all the way down to my knees, like past a little below my knees, maybe like this much, but it used to be so long. I mean, I obviously cut it after I left, and it still grows fast, but I feel like it has slowed down a lot since I was Amish. But then again, the long hair could have also just been genetics. But I do hear that apple cider vinegar is good for your hair, so I don't know, but maybe I'll have to try it again. I do feel like my hair was a lot lighter and a lot less frizzy when I was back home compared to what it is now, so maybe I should try that. What do you guys think? Should I try it? Should I bring it back? And usually when it came to going to bed, we would wear our hair in a ponytail, or you could put a cap on. It's called, I think we call it a sleep cap. And anybody could wear the sleep cap, but usually if you were not married or not dating, you would wear your hair in a ponytail. But if you were married or dating, you would wear the sleep cap. And I don't think that had anything to do with guys seeing our hair, or our husbands seeing our hair, or our boyfriends seeing our hair. Because in the evening, we would often wear our hair in a ponytail. I mean, obviously we wouldn't like go anywhere like that, but around the house, if it was in the evening and we had already gotten ready for bed, our hair would be in a ponytail, especially before you were married. The only time that I do know that they specifically ask you to cover your hair, I mean, they will always ask you to cover your hair because they don't like it if you don't have a cap on. But the only time that they specifically ask you to put something on for religious reasons is when you give thanks for your meal. Like they will pray or give thanks before and after each meal. And I know for a fact that in those two instances, they will request that you put a cap on or something to cover your hair. Because like even if I go back to visit and I'm at the dinner table with them, and which it doesn't happen a lot, but the one time that it did happen and they actually let me sit at the dinner table with them, they asked that I cover my hair. So it is definitely a religious thing. I don't think you wear it so that the guys can't see your hair. But anyway, that's everything for today. I will see you guys next week. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to hear more of my story. And also follow me on TikTok at IdaMachiba1 and on Instagram at IdaChooseHappiness. I will be posting videos and answering some questions on both of those platforms as well.